Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, we started the Anna run. This is the final dragon who we have not yet gotten a good ending for. And let's see here, we've gone on the first date again, and we have an option of going with someone else. Now, we still also have a secret dragon to meet up with. And B-Force has told me that in order to meet up with that dragon, I need to first have a date with Bryce, and then when I get the chance, I also need to do my investigation at the grocery store. If I had to guess, this will mean that I will meet the waiter at the bar with Bryce, and then find out that the waiter also works at the grocery store. Which is actually something I was curious about doing at one point, because it's like, well, if I find out that they're the same person, will that change the dialogue? But recently I actually decided not to do that, because I figure it's a little bit much to try to search for every possible little dialogue change that I can acquire. So it's a good thing that B-Force told me that I should do this, because I was no longer planning to. So, I'm just going to skip over the Bryce date. As soon as I get the option, I'll hit the skip button. This date started out with a little bit more extra info for about Ryza, or Reza rather. Let's see. Just about done here for the day. If you want to discuss it over a beer or something, I'd be more than happy. And I don't usually drink them. That's fine, you don't have to. Except if I wanted your good ending, I kinda did have to. Here we are. And here we go. Here's the skip. So at some point during this hangout, we wind up meeting the bartender slash waiter slash grocer. Alright, you know what? I'm sorry. The whole contest thing was a stupid idea, and I shouldn't have suggested it, especially not to you. Well, it's not like you forced me to participate, so I suppose I share some of the blame. Right, the drinking contest. Wasn't that a thing that I did? Let's just pretend the whole thing never happened. Well, we did skip over it. Deal. Wait, what time is it? Dang, I should really get going or I'll be late for work. You know how to get back to your apartment from here, right? I think so. Guess you should be going as well, kiddo. Maybe I'll see you some other time. Yeah, whether under good terms or not. Did we just get duty twice in a row? 2 chapters in a row? Okay, I'm betting we'll see a message as soon as we're skipping to after this next sequence. Right, we have to do other stuff before we get to the next dates. It was a relief to leave the crime scene. Found something in my pocket. Tatsu. Masked person put it there. Masked person is not Reza. Visit the grocery store. Enter the store. Sound a bell alerting the staff to my arrival. Store Reza's been shopping at. Hello, you! Actually, back up. Just wanted to check if there was any dialogue change recognizing this person already. Who's he talking to? Hey, I think I've seen her before. Indeed we have. Prescription has expired. Hello, Erika. How can I help you? Wait, aren't you the bartender from the other day? That I am. Did you have fun that evening? Yeah, it was alright. You know, you can do more in the bar than just getting drunk. Oh, really? I could show you sometime if you wanted to. Okay, so the secret date is with... Oh, what is his name? I got it wrote down. Zong. Is that an invitation? Well, if you put it that way, it kind of is. Anyway, how can I help you? The usual stuff. Who was that? And just leave. I don't need to browse around. And... Okay, I'm gonna save real quick. Because I want to point a character out real quick. We'll visit Tetsu Park. No, I wanted to look at the map. Tetsu Avenue. Rest on the bench. This character. So, in the flash of characters that appears during the opening screen with a bunch of taglines, this character has the tagline or like the descriptor or something. But anyway, this character is paired with the word faith. Considering that Zong is the final secret date, this character obviously is just here to be a living statue. But it really makes me wonder why this character in particular was paired with the word faith. Like how some other character is paired with the word betrayal, who I still haven't checked who that actually is yet. I tried screen capping it as it goes by, but I'm either too early or too late. I mean, I suppose I could always just watch my recording and pause the video, but that would be too easy. Anyway, I want to visit the production facility. This is an Anna run. I want to be with Anna. Reza was allegedly here at some point. Maybe I should ask Anna. Hello? Anybody here? I certainly get impatient with my knocking. Oh, right, you. You're here instead of Anna. Can I help you? I was just looking for Anna. This is her lab, right? Hey, hate to tell you, guy. Let me see, your name is Damien? Yeah, Damien. You're gonna die in a couple of days because you're going to be here instead of Anna. I'm gonna be taking Anna out on a date and you're gonna be left here alone and get killed instead of her. Sorry about that. Why don't I ever get any recognition? This is my lab as much as it is hers. Yeah, bummer for you. And if either way, Anna's not here, would that be all? Since you work here, maybe you can help me instead. Of course, your precious Anna isn't here, so you'll have to settle for me. I see how it is. That's not what I meant. Of course, let's just get this over with. You can start by telling me who you are. Here's the short version. My name is Damien. I work in this facility, and I'm unfortunate enough to live the nightmare of having to deal with Anna on a daily basis. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, too. And you are? You don't know who I am? Of course I know who you are, but your assumption validated the point I was going to make. You see, this whole thing about you coming here has been blown out of proportion, like it's some huge event that everyone should be celebrating. Well, I mean, it kind of is. There'd certainly be some celebrations if we were visited by aliens, along with a healthy dose of panicking. Newsflash, not everyone cares. Once both of you are gone, life will return to normal and we can all go back to what we actually should be doing. I mean, that doesn't mean you can't celebrate in the meantime. You only have this one chance. I imagine a lot of it has to do with those human myths you have. I can only reiterate, not everyone cares. Well, that's fine, but you don't have to downplay those who are caring. What exactly do you want again? I'm just gonna ask about Reza. Do you know anything about Reza's visits to this facility? I've seen him a few times. He would come by to ask about the progress of the generators. There was this one time when Anna told him she'd have news, but when he came over, she just wanted to run some tests on him. Did he go through with it? No, he wanted some compensation, I suppose. Nothing she could offer satisfied him, however, and that was that. Well, these are Anna questions. I'm kind of curious to have a reminder. Also, what kind of research were you doing, first off? Right now? Guess who got tasked with running all those tests on your blood? You did? That's right. While she goes out and does whatever the heck she wants, I get to keep an eye on the experiment. Any interesting results? Not just yet, but soon we'll know more about your body than you do. How about Anna's research? Cancer research. That's what I thought. I knew somebody mentioned that. She thinks she can cure it, but she's out of her mind. I'm betting one of the dates with Anna will actually involve that. Or at least the discussion will come up. Is that such a bad thing? The way she does it? Yes. She's wasting resources that could be better spent on projects with an actual chance of success. Well, I think there's a chance of success. How long have you known Anna? Why do you care about that? Maybe I want to find out what kind of person she is. You might have an idea. I'll put it this way. I've known her far too long. Okie doke. Bye-bye. Afternoon sun hung low in the sky. Time to report my findings to police. Alright, let's skip ahead. Before says, when you get the chance, tell her you know about her cancer to be on the good ending path. Oh, so I actually definitely wanted to ask about that stuff then. Anyway, you said you had some information for us. What did you find? Receipts are interesting. Nothing special about Anna wanting Reza's blood. But they'll talk to her anyway. Finally, some free time. Whatever am I going to do? Looks like there are some messages on the answering machine. Let's see. I just wanted to update you. I still don't have an open spot in the facility for your tests, but I'll be free if you want to cash in your reward. You know I'm busy, so this is your chance for your date if you even still want to go through with it. Take it or leave it. I don't care much either way. In any case, you know where to find me. I guess the choice is mine. Okay, I do have the option of meeting with the store clerk, but I want to meet with Anna first so she does not feel abandoned. Just on time, where is she? This is another date with Anna that I got on my first run of this game. Looks like a message. Oh, right. This is the part where we kind of keep on waiting. I have the option of trying to get into her lab. That's probably a bad idea, but I am kind of curious what happens if I try. Alright, I'm going to score myself some sweet lab equipment. That's the least she can do for making me wait. This sounds bad. Or maybe I'll just wait inside. Standing around here is getting rather tedious. Pushing the door does nothing. Neither does pulling. Guess I'm out of options here. Hey, what's this? At the bottom of the door, the corner of an envelope was noticeably sticking out. I'm curious. Pulling at the corner, I was now holding the envelope in my hands. Well, I gotta pass the time somehow, right? Let's see. Dear Anna, appointments for the next month, treatment plan, Dr. Valledo. I probably shouldn't be looking at this. Quickly, I put the letter back into the envelope and pushed it through the gap in the door. Achievement unlocked, Snoop. You looked at Anna's envelope. Better not let her catch you. What are you looking at? Your beautiful door. Where have you been all this time? Reading comprehension must not be your strong suit, because my note clearly said I'd be back soon. Note to self, the word soon now refers to a time span of over 2 hours when waiting for a scheduled appointment. Has it really been that long? It certainly didn't feel like it. No, we are not skipping to the end. Like I said, it's been close to 2 months since I've even seen this scene. I mostly remember what happens, and part of it I will kind of gloss over. Okay. I'm not going to say this out loud, just in case it's spoiler, but have I already known about that? Because I don't remember knowing about that. Unless somebody did mention it. Did Remy tell me about that? I might have forgotten about it. Because I tend to forget about it. Remy told me. That's right, okay. Well, I'll take your word for it then. So, during date 3, Remy told me about it. I will take your word for it. So, the letter is, according to Beer Force, another way to learn about Anna's cancer if I don't hear it from Remy. Well, at the very least, it's nice to have that reminder. Anyway, no, I'm not going to skip ahead. Sorry for making you wait. It happens to the best of us. Happens to me all the time. Guess we missed our movie. Can't we see the late screening or something? That was the late screening. The theater's closed now. Maybe we should reschedule. That won't work. At least not for me. Today was the only day I could leave early. I won't have another chance anytime soon. What do we do now? Maybe the coffee place is still open. I don't know. I guess it's better than nothing. Closed as well. That's just peachy. Why do you keep working so late anyway? Because what I'm doing is important. You're doing cancer research, right? And who told you that? Damien. I stopped by your lab some time ago, but you weren't there. That shard-born blah. What else did he tell you about me? Nothing much. The whole thing wasn't really about you anyway. I see. Well, now I'm definitely glad I didn't skip this, because we are getting new dialogue. Also, I was not given the option whether or not to tell her I knew about the cancer research. Sounds like you two don't get along that well. That's the understatement of the century. Being trapped in a small room with the likes of him for hours on end every day is a scenario born of a sick mind with the intention of making me suffer as much as possible. It certainly doesn't make my research any easier. The stress probably doesn't help you either, and it's not worth jeopardizing your health over. Don't overwork yourself. You can't save anyone if you're dead. Hint, hint. If I don't find a cure, no one else will. No one else can. Besides, I was only late today because I got your stupid blood work ready. You have the test results? Yeah. Want to know what I have to say about them? Definitely. Okay, how much do you know about genetics? A little bit. 90% of your genes are homologous to our species genes. Right. Because we're having this date now, that means I don't necessarily need to get the test results later. About 50% of your DNA is also shared with fruit. That's kind of funny. Okay, quick question for you all. If you were a fruit, what fruit would you be? I would probably be a strawberry myself. I don't know why. It just seems fitting for me. Anyway, you and your human neighbor back home, probably around 99.9% genetically similar. Sentient species we have here, only around 95 to 97% similar. As for what this tells us, although a match of 90% sounds like a lot, not as much as you might think. Still, for two beings from a different world altogether, that's quite remarkable. Except not really. I'm sure we're like distant cousins. So first off, Kiba would be a grape. I can believe that. B4 says Anna is a strange case, as the dragons were programmed not to innovate, as the administrator said, being bioweapons and all. Well, that is kind of something that Kiba brought up in the previous stream. After 1,000 years, there's gotta be some sort of deviancy. B4 would be a blueberry. Let's see. Beyond DNA, the biggest similarity between us is within our brain structure, but that's not surprising considering our high-level cognitive abilities. That'll be surprise Maverick. What do you mean? He doesn't seem to like humans very much. I'm sure he'll be displeased to know how similar we are. Oh, he doesn't like anyone really. He's just like me in that way. Yeah, you two would make a great couple. You're a little late for that. I'm already his ex-girlfriend. Really? How did that go? Not how you might think. It actually went pretty well, for a while at least. But in the end, we both got too absorbed in our jobs until we realized we had drifted apart too much and agreed it would be better if we just broke up. I still respect him for the work he does. I mean, we even used to solve crime together. I'd be in the lab running tests, and he'd be out on the field chasing after the perps. Those were good times. I guess nowadays he just chases after me. What? I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that. But if you know him, maybe you can help me out. I certainly can't help you if you don't tell me what's going on. Okay, but this is just between us, alright? Sure, whatever. I will say this, Anna does a lot of face-palming. Maverick is convinced that I'm the accomplice of a crime. He made a point to tell me that he's searching for proof to legally arrest me, or worse. No, I wouldn't worry about that. Really? It's nothing. Can't find any proof that doesn't exist. Yeah, one would hope that be the case. But there have been legitimate cases where the wrong person got sent to prison. Still, it doesn't feel nice to be threatened and stalked, especially by someone like him. That's just him. He gets way too into it once he sets his sight on something. I noticed. It's his job, what do you expect? I wish he'd just leave me alone. He wasn't always like this, you know. A couple of years ago, he was assigned to this one case. So, this is the part where... Let's see here. Serial killer, and the serial killer turned out to be Maverick's brother, who was under the effect of the degenerative disease, which brought his feral nature to the foreground. They found him, his brother attacked Bryce, and Maverick had no choice but to kill his own brother to protect Bryce. It was definitely a sucky situation. My first run, I thought this was going to be really important to the story overall. Like, I did not actually think that Reza really was on a killing spree. I thought maybe it was just a coincidence. Reza is paranoid for some reason, doesn't trust the dragons, shot Maverick out of panic, and all of a sudden these other murders happen which have nothing to do with Reza, and me, of course, I feel like I'm a suspect of accomplice, as Maverick suspects me to be. And it's like, okay, if I want to figure out what's really going on, maybe it has something to do with this degenerative disease. Maybe somebody else is afflicted by it. Maybe it's Vera's mother, because we learned that Vera's mother is sick and needs some sort of medication or something. Incidentally, that is how Bryce got his other scar. It's also interesting that this flashback actually has visual imagery. I think, besides this, the only flashback that did is Bryce's flashback being stuck in the cave. Also my own flashback, but that doesn't count because that's me talking. Anyway, Maverick blamed himself for not taking better care of his brother. He knew Miles had problems and was taking medication for it. Yep, medication. Vera was looking for medication, so I thought there was a connection. But he wished he could have done more to help him. The medication wasn't the right one, by the way. Maverick takes solace in the fact that he was able to save Bryce, but he's never been the same since that incident. Now he scrutinizes everyone and everything. I'm not sure how that's supposed to help me. It doesn't. But now you know why he is how he is. It's not unusual for him to act like this, so you might just have to wait it out. I'm glad at the very least, at the end of the last run, I finally earned Maverick's trust. I'm still waiting for a run to earn his trust the whole adventure. Jury's out whether that will even happen. Anyway, back to results. Since you were so interested, did you want a copy of them? Yep, no problem. Heard you also wanted Raise's blood. Of course. I invited him over too, but that was before you arrived here. And I thought what we had was special. Oh, it is. Razor was too stuck up to agree to anything. He wouldn't even participate in an exhilarating round of trivia board games? Not even that. Can you believe it? I can almost see the sarcasm dripping from your mouth. Still, it's kind of a shame. It would have been interesting to compare your blood to his. What a shame indeed. Let's just enjoy our romantic date in the back alley of a coffee shop. Of course. Unless you want to take this play someplace else. What, you don't like hanging around dirty back alleys? I forgot there was an option here. I'm kind of curious what happens if I say, well, why not? Actually, I do. Now that's the spirit. Getting kind of hungry. I figured we'd be having a meal on our date. What, can't you go a few hours without having to stuff your face? I could offer you a handful of dirt if that's to your taste, Erika. I already have my own dirt. Sorry, but I already have my own dirt. Oh, really? What kind of dirt would that be? Only the finest governmentally funded dirt from Tetsu Park. Your filthy back alley stuff has nothing on this. You win this round. Oh good, I was about to say, is this about to go in a bad direction? Either way, a side dish would be nice. I know this one place that never closes. Let's go there. Sure. And here comes this. I'm not really sure which date is my favorite in this game so far. This one? Or the shower scene with the dean? After several minutes of walking, Anna led me to the outskirts of town. We arrived at a farmhouse. One side fields stretched towards the horizon, on the other were lush green hills with fenced populations of animals. What kind of restaurant is this supposed to be? Self-serve. If I choose this last option, that'll lock me out of Anna's good ending. You're a bad girl, Anna. I know. How well can you hunt? Me? Even if I knew how, it's not like I have any equipment here. Equipment? What is sissy? You got hands and teeth? What more do you need? A long-range weapon, maybe? Like fire? I suppose even you could make use of that. Alright, since I'm apparently the only one capable of acquiring food, I'll be right back. And here's where things just get fascinating. Anna walked over to the fenced enclosure of animals that reminded me of sheep. She crouched and squeezed herself through the bars, after which I lost sight of her. Waiting game 2.0, start. Took only a couple minutes for her to return, dragging one of the animals behind her with her now bloody jaws and hands. That is a good look for you. Dinner's ready. What kind of animal is this? It's called a mouflon. Anyway, do you have a part you'd prefer? See how nice I am? I'm even letting you choose first. I forget what an offal is. Organs. That's right, organs. Okay. I guess rump. No problem. I might have chosen I'll have anything on the first run. Using one of our claws, he skinned the dead mouflon and divided it into various pieces. Do you want yours grilled or raw? Grilled. Unless prepared properly, raw meat carries a significant risk of diseases for us. How inept can your species even be? You can't hunt on your own, and you need tools and help at every step. You don't even have claws to cut things up. Yeah, but we can open soda cans. I'm not sure how you could ever survive in the wild. Seriously, what god did you piss off to end up like that? I shouldn't be having difficulty choosing options. I've already been through this conversation before. We'll say evolution. I guess after millions of years of evolution, nature decided that we didn't need those abilities anymore. Instead, we got very articulate hands and arms and our upright stance. Those let us do many other things. Like what? Who builds everything in your society? Who's responsible for the delicate tasks like assembling electronics, manufacturing, or cooking and bartending? That's mostly us, the runners. We've got proper hands after all. Now comparing your arms to mine, ours are much longer and have way more mobility. Especially our fingers. They have an incredible amount of articulation. I would love it if this turned into a tickle fight. The difference between you and me is about as big as the difference between you and another of your species. Just imagine what we could do with our advantages. Oh, you think you can school me? Sure I can. Don't get cocky. We've overcome the limitations of individual species with all of our technology. Actually, we have technology back at home that is far superior to yours. I'd love to see it. Though we've already gathered plenty of information on your tech from the databases contained in the PDA. What will you do when we catch up? If you get there, we'll see. So that was an interesting, different part of the conversation. I definitely did not choose evolution on my first run. She opened her maw wide before a liquid shot from both corners of her mouth and onto the ground below the parts of the mouflon she had prepared. After a few seconds, the liquid burst into flame, heating up our dinner. That is still cool. That's a neat trick. I bet you wish you could do that, huh? That'd be wicked cool. Right? It comes in handy. How does that work anyway? Do you ever burn your mouth? Not at all. There are actually two different components. They only catch on fire when a sufficient quantity of both is present. Interesting. And we get this image again. I suppose we should consider ourselves lucky that the farmer doesn't notice us camping out with his campfire, cooking his food. The flames weakened and grew smaller until they went out, revealing steamy, appetizing pieces of meat. Help yourself. grabbed a piece, but dropped it as soon as I felt the heat on my fingertips. Ouch, that's still hot. Can take a little heat, huh? That's too bad. Unaffected by his temperature, she took a piece into her hand, tore a chunk out of it with her teeth, and started chewing. I guess your scales are a good insulator. Actually, a lot of animals apparently have good insulators in their feet. Like, how many animals are out and about during winter? My grandparents' cat even is totally willing to go outside when it's like 10 degrees below freezing. Evidently so. How does it taste? Just wonderful. Stolen goods always taste best. I can already picture the old farmer reduced to tears after he discovers one of his precious mouflons is gone. Yeah, there's a reason why I've been saving Anna for last. You're a wild one, Anna. Thanks. I could teach you a thing or two. I think it should be cool enough for your sensitive little fingers now. Carefully, I grabbed one of the pieces, which by now had indeed cooled down enough to not burn me anymore, and took a bite. It was a little bland, I had to admit, but not bad with it for something that was alive less than an hour ago and prepared in the wild. How do you like your mouflon a la Anna? You know what? I feel like a wild animal. Quite different from sitting in an expensive restaurant and using their fancy cutlery and napkins, isn't it? Yeah, I like it. How often do you just go out and hunt on your own? Only when necessary, or when I feel like it. I still go to fancy restaurants because I can afford it, but they don't mean much to me. For me, it's all about the experience, and one isn't necessarily better than the other. I can see your point. This was unusual but fun. Not that I would do it often. I can see your point. This certainly isn't how I thought the evening would go, but it was pretty fun. Anyways, I'm stuffed. Me too. There's still plenty left over. What are we going to do with it all? We can just leave it here. Hey, maybe the old farmer will help himself to it. Talk about recycling. Hey, it's meat. 100% biodegradable. I should probably leave before that senile has-been wakes up from his evening nap. Yeah, let's go. Well, that was interesting. Wait a minute. I've got something for you. Here you go. Your test results, black on white. Thanks. But did you really need to spend all that extra time getting this done today? I just wanted to get it over with when I had the chance. Maybe you should start thinking about not working so late on a regular basis. It might do you some good, Anna. You know, I think you have a point. I haven't been feeling like myself lately. There are various reasons for that, but working too much might be one. Today was kind of fun, so maybe I should make the effort to get out every once in a while. Speaking of which, now that our date is officially over, we should talk about your end of the deal. Of course. There's an opening soon where I can fit you in. I'll call you with all the details. I shall be looking forward to that. Okay, do I still have the option of going to meet Zong? Yes, I do. And hold on a sec, just to make sure. Status. Still impressed. Cool, cool. In that case, I will save and go on a break. And when we come back, time to get back to some new content. Like all new content. At least as far as dates go.